Welcome to another episode of the Inspirational Post by Soulah. We're going to carry on reviewing Stephanie Ike's book, The Power of Your Dreams. And today we are on chapter 2, You the Dreamer. So as per usual, I'm going to tell you 10 things that I've learned from chapter 2. So here we go. Number 1. Each day is different. Your approach is what matters. The Bible is giving us instructions on how to ask for guidance every day. It's a simple prayer that you can ask for guidance from God. And it's in Matthew 6:11. Give us this day our daily bread. Life is what you can make of it. Life is what you make of it, but there's nothing that we can do on our own. We always need, it's best to ask for guidance from God, basically. The second thing that she said is dreams are divine communication, and how God uses dreams to either warn us, guide us, or inspire us. The example she gave is in Matthew 2 verse 13, where Joseph was warned in a dream by an angel to flee with Mary and baby Jesus because Herod was after baby Jesus' life. Number 3. God also speaks to us through real life dreams. Something very interesting and a very interesting fact that she said in the book that I didn't know about. James Cameron had a dream when he was 19, and that was the dream that inspired the very, very famous and successful Avatar. So a lot of people have gotten inspiration from dreams, and I'm one of those people. I've only started this vlog because I heard from God. It's been a very emotional period of my life, and I was just asking God, how can I channel my energy? How can I channel my emotions to something else? I need my mind to be busy so I don't get stuck in thoughts, basically. And I got the inspiration for tips. I never used to be a reader. I'll probably read like one book in a year, or no books, apart from like certifications that you do for work and stuff like that. But I wasn't a reader. So not only would God give you the inspiration, he would also give you the desire and the tools that you need to actually follow through. Now I'm scouting around looking for what books to read, what books that would help me develop as a person. I'm looking for how to make a calendar for tips as well. So he also gives you the desire. So my sister once told me, I can't remember what we're speaking about, and she said what she loves about God is it's a full life cycle. Like he holds your hand from inception to the end. So he's going to hold your hand if you let him, from the inspiration that you get, the execution, and everything that you need, the full package that you need to actually follow that passion through. And that's what I'm experiencing, the strong urge and desire to read. I mean, I've just come back from work and I'm like, I need to record an episode for tips. Get on it, girl. And yeah, we're here. Before, she says sensitivity to God's voice is key. It's important for you to understand God's character so you can further understand when he speaks to you and how he speaks to you. I think I spoke about this in chapter 1, God speaks to you. When you build that relationship with God, it makes you more willing to accept the instructions and the promptings without questioning it. You won't question it because you know that it's from God. The example she gave is in Matthew 27 verse 19, where Pilate's wife had a dream warning her about Jesus' innocence. And I'm going to read that little verse because it says something key there, which I found funny. I don't know if anyone finds it funny, but I found it funny. It says, while he was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent to him, saying, have nothing to do with that just man. That just man is Jesus. For I have suffered many things today in a dream because of him. Like, don't try it. I've suffered. Just please. He's innocent. He's innocent. Don't get involved in that because, yeah. So I think I mentioned this as well in chapter 1. It's not just about you getting the dream and getting the promptings from God. It's what are you going to do with it? Are you going to hear what? Because you need to hear what. There's no point someone revealing something to you and you don't use that information. So pay attention to dreams, because dreams can carry divine messages that can change lives, that can transform lives. Number 5, spiritual blockages could be a reason why people forget their dreams. What is she defining as spiritual blockages? We'll go into that in the next couple of points. But you find a lot of people saying, oh, I always forget my dreams, or I don't dream, or I've never dreamt before, I don't even remember bits and bobs of it. It's not necessarily a good thing. I'm not going to sit here and say it's a bad thing, because as I said, I'm not a pastor. But what Stephanie is saying is, it could be because there's spiritual blockages is why you're forgetting your dreams. It's not normal for you to just forget your dreams. So what I started doing, because there was a time where I would sleep and I would have dreams and I won't remember it. So I actually have a prayer that I pray, and basically the content of the prayer is, whatever it is that you're trying to reveal to me, oh God, let it be clear, let my body and my mind be at rest whilst I'm asleep to be able to receive. Give me spiritual clarity, and as I said, the rest that's required for such dreams. And I also ask for something specific. I want the dream to be very clear that I don't need a third party to interpret. Now, I'm not saying that third party interpretation is bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that my personal prayer when it comes to dreaming is, I want to be able to wake up from that dream and say, oh, right, okay, so I understand this. Oh, that makes sense to me. And if I'm not clear, if I say a prayer, I want God to be able to reveal to me what it is that I've missed. As I said, I'm not saying that if you need your dreams interpreted, it's a bad thing. But yeah, I say a prayer. So I would encourage us actually to say prayers before we go to bed, so that God can actually help you with the retentive memory that is needed to remember your dreams. Point number 6. A hardened heart blocks God's voice. Some people's heart is competing with the one of Pharaoh. Relax. It's okay. They hurt you. Life is hard sometimes. You gotta let go. Something very interesting that she said is, the word here is inside heart. If your heart isn't in the right place, you may find it difficult to hear from God. I'm not going to say you're not going to hear from God, but you may find it difficult to hear from God because your heart is not in the right place. Matthew 5 verse 8 says, Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. It's clear. Your heart should be pure so you can see God in dreams. You can see God in your life. You can see God moving in your life. Okay? Bitterness, harboring bitterness or jealousy and unforgiveness can block whatever divine revelation that God is trying to show you. Number 7, unforgiveness keeps you stuck. Holding on to past hurts can actually block God's blessings. You know, they always say that forgiving people is not about the person, it's about yourself. Ephesians 6:12 says, forgive people, because actually, oftentimes, we're not even fighting those people. We're fighting against like principalities and powers. And I'm going to read it to you just in case it's not a verse that you're familiar with. Ephesians 6 verse 12 says, For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. So why are you fighting flesh? Like, it might not even be that person that hurt you. Like, and if you're fighting principalities and powers, it's not with abuse or hardened heart or unforgiveness. It's about God being the ultimate judge, which is where I've come to in my life, actually. There's nothing anybody's doing to me these days that I'm not going to be looking at you and forgive you, because it's the ultimate judge. And also, just on this point, forgiveness is not about reconciliation. If you forgive somebody, doesn't mean that you need to go and still carry on with the somewhat so toxic relationship, abusive relationship. That's not what she's saying here. She's saying, forgive them, let them go, release it to God. It's not a license to return to funny dynamic things going on in your relationship. So let's have wisdom. Thank you. T for things. And a verse just to encourage you to forgive and look forward is Isaiah 43, verse 18 to 19. Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past, so that you can see that he's doing a new thing. You can see when he springs forth. And he's asking a very important question. Do you not perceive it? I'm making a way for you in the wilderness. This verse sort of encourages me to let go of the past and trust God that he's creating something good and something new in my life. Like, why am I holding on to past hurt or past disappointment when even in the wilderness, he's trying to create something, meaning that he's trying to create something out of nothing, because the wilderness is dry. So whatever past situation you were in, it's not drier than the wilderness. But yeah, anyways, guys, let it go. Forgive people. I know it's very hard. I'm also I'm stubborn as well. And when I get hurt, because I sort of pour myself into relationships, I do get hurt quite often when I feel like they don't return that sort of energy. But these days, you gotta let it go. I'm gonna give a quick example. As I said, went through something quite recently, and I was battling with unforgiveness, and I would pray and I would see Leviticus 4, and I'm thinking, what is Leviticus 4? Like, I would read it and it didn't really make sense. He was talking about unintentional sin, and the priest of the church is sinning, and the pastor is sinning, and everybody's singing, and there's a sin offering that they need to make to the Lord. And I'm just there thinking to myself, unintentional sin. I started cracking my brain. Ooh, did I insult somebody? Did I steal? I couldn't get my head around what unintentional sin I was committing. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but unintentional sin, I don't know. And every time I prayed, it would keep coming up. Like, what's the problem? So I started praying about the message. Why are you showing me this? What is it? And the next day, I just had a voice saying, your heart, you need to forgive and let go. Forgive and let live. Just leave it alone. And I'm like, I know I'm a Christian, but I didn't know, but I didn't know the value of actually forgiving people. I didn't know how important it was in the Bible to actually let go of hurt and let go of bitterness that people have caused you. Is actually an important thing, and it can hinder a lot. And it makes sense what she said in her book. It actually can block a lot of things. For me, it didn't block God speaking to me, but maybe he would have wanted to say more. I don't know. But yeah, guys, I know we're stubborn, and I know we're human beings. We're quite emotional, but let it go. Number 8, fear is a major dream blocker. As I mentioned in the previous episode, where I said fear is single-handedly the most repeated phrase in the Bible, approximately 366 times. Do not fear, fear not, thou shalt not fear, things like that. It's quite important. 1 John 4:18 says, there is no fear in love. Get rid of that imposter syndrome. I know it's a thing that we all say now, imposter syndrome, imposter syndrome. Imposter, I don't know. There's a syndrome that's imposing something. That's just fear in disguise, and it cripples a lot of potential. Maybe if you had actually opted to get that presentation done at work, who knows, that could have been the little step that was needed for a promotion. If you had put yourself forward for that job, even though you didn't have all the qualifications, you didn't tick all the boxes that they've said in their job description, which a lot of people don't, but they still go ahead with the interview and they actually pass it and actually do the job and actually get it done. Maybe you'd have been a CEO of a company. I don't know. But a lot of us battle with that syndrome. Imposter. Something is imposing something. That is a syndrome. Let's just get rid of that. As I said, it's fear in disguise, and it would cripple your potential. What if you don't do well at that thing? Okay. What if you do though? Yay! So what fear would do is it would keep you stuck, and it will prevent you from moving forward. Instead of fear, replace that fear with faith. Just have a little bit more faith in yourself. First of all, have faith in God, and then have faith in what God has deposited in you. You have the mind of Christ. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Actually, today at work, I put myself forward for something, and I got to the front of the session, and I was like, God, so what have you done? But for the very first time, somebody used the word for something that I've done at work. And he said, wow, B, that was immaculate. Immaculate? I'm like, immaculate? I mean, people will say, oh, that was good presentation. Oh, that was great. He said immaculate. Mate, the next time we're doing something, I'm putting myself forward because immaculate, that's a big word. Anyways, number 9. God won't compete with idols. Now, by idols, I know in the Bible, well, I may not be right, but in the Bible, when we talk about idols, we're talking about like Shango and Shawaride. I mean, for those that don't know, we're talking about deities. But what she's referring to as idols could actually be whatever you prioritize over God is an idol. Some people prioritize marriage more than their relationship with God. That's the idol in your life. Some people prioritize their finances over a relationship with God. That's the idol in your life. Their careers over God. That is the idol in your life. There's a verse in the Bible that says, seek first the kingdom of God and everything else will be added. So seek first the kingdom of God and that job will be added, the finance. And I know it sounds cliche, guys. And I know. But it's the truth. Why do you want to work so hard when you can just do one thing, which is a relationship with God, to get all those other things? It's a thing. It's actually a thing. So let's put more effort in building that relationship with God so all those things can be added to us. An idol could also be, as I've discussed before, pain and holding on to unforgiveness and letting those things control your life and the decisions that you make. Let's put more effort in healing from our past and letting things go. Because those things are idols. Those toxic patterns are idols in your life, because if you can't let go of toxic things, then that's what's important to you, as opposed to what the Bible has told us to do, to let go of things, let go of unforgiveness, forgive our neighbors, love our neighbors as we love ourselves. So he won't compete with idols. Get rid of all those things. Number 10. Hope disrupts fear. Fear paralyzes you, but hope propels you to actually do more. It gives you something to look forward to. I don't know about anybody else, but when I have hope, it gives me something to look forward to. Isaiah 40:31 says, for those who hope in the Lord, they will renew their strength, and they will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and they will not grow weary. They will walk and they will not faint. Eagles. Those eagles, they don't have limitations. That's how I see eagles. They symbolize strength. They don't have limitations. They just take off. One funny story, actually. So I've got 2 amazing siblings. I'm the last of 3 kids. I have an older sister. She's the eldest, and I have a brother. Amazing guys. Those are my best friends in this whole world. Sorry, Amaka. But we went through a very rough patch with my dad when he was ill. But throughout that period, even though it's single-handedly the hardest thing that I know the 3 of us have been through, we were strong. Like, even though we're crying, we were still keeping it moving. Okay, what do we need to do, guys? Okay, right, so we need to go here. We need to call this doctor. We need to do... Like, we were moving. And I remember when my dad passed one day, my brother woke up and said, guys, we're eagles. And my sister and I burst out laughing. What was this one talking about? And it was like, we're eagles. So we sort of changed the sibling group chats to the eagles. It was very funny. I might take a picture and I'll put that in the video. But yeah, we're called the eagles because we showed resilience, we showed strength, perseverance. We moved like we didn't have a limit. Like, there's no limit to what we're going to do for this man to save his life. And that's what hope does, because every day we hoped that he was going to live. We hoped that the treatment was going to work. We hoped that this was going to be we hoped for a miracle. I mean, it didn't happen, but we still had that hope. And with hope, it just helps you push forward and push through things, I must say. So yes, guys, those are the 10 things that I learned from chapter 2, You the Dreamer, of Stephanie Ike Okafor's book, The Power of Your Dreams. Before I go, as I always do, my favorite quote from this chapter is, unforgiveness is a limitation by default to the things that your heart can receive from God. Self-explanatory, guys. We've talked about it. Forgive and forget. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Can't remember the other words. My favorite Bible verse as well is 1 John 4:18. And that's the one that I read previously that says that there's no fear in love. And the one that talks about how fear is torment. Guys, don't be tormented by fear. That's deep, honestly to God. I don't know about you guys, but that's really, really deep for me. Torment is far. It's actually quite far. So don't be tormented. Don't be tormented, guys. Don't be tormented. There's no fear in love. Don't be tormented. Right. So thank you very much for tuning into my channel. Again, stay tuned for chapter 3. I'll try to get these episodes out as quick as I can. But please, I'd like to hear from you guys if there's any dreams that you've had that have actually materialized into, for example, a passion. If you've gotten inspiration from God for what you're currently doing in your life. If you've had any dreams, that are quite interesting and you'd be open enough to share. I'm not asking anyone to share anything about their private lives. But yeah, it would just be nice to inspire other people to build that relationship with God so that they can hear and also, get that divine transformation. Who knows? They might get a dream that they're the next president. I don't know. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.